Hello and welcome to Arts Blast on the Air, a podcast, a radio show, and an Alexa skill presented by Riverside Theater and Ballet Vero Beach, topping the charts in the arts in Florida. I'm Jesse Krisky, filling in for Willie Miller today, talking to people in and about the arts on the Treasure Coast and beyond. Crazy day in the studio. It's Aric Attas. Hey, Aric, how are you?
Hey, I'm fantastic. How are you?
Great. Now, Aric, you seem very interesting. This is our first time meeting.
Yeah.
All right. It says on your website, so tell us about this. So Symbiotic, music with plants. Tell us about this, please.
Yeah, so I have been inspired by science and art for decades, and recently, over the last 8 years or so, got into making generative music. And generative music is where I set up a set of rules, an algorithm with, so defining the key, the pitches, the scales, the tempo, and basically the software writes the music from there, from the set of rules and probabilities that I create.
Interesting.
It's not AI. It's not looking at anything that's ever existed. It's just creating based on the rules that I create.
Okay.
Now, as part of that, I can also send input into it.
Okay.
And so over the years, I've become interested in what's called data sonification, which is taking any kind of information and mapping it to music. So what I'm doing here is I have a very sensitive electronic device that measures the subtle fluctuations in electrical currents that occur when plants photosynthesize or absorb nutrients or build new cells. They generate electricity, and those fluctuations get mapped to musical notes. You can imagine a plant writing a musical score.
Okay.
So the plant is writing the notes, but there's no music yet.
All right.
And that's where the generative music comes in. That creates the sounds that you're fading in now.
Yeah.
That creates the sounds that you're hearing. So the plant writes the music, and then we collaborate to create the sounds in the music that you're hearing.
Fascinating. So this is lichen on pine tree at Cape Cod National Seashore.
Yes. So I like to travel around and play different plants in their natural environment and hear what they sound like. And it's really fascinating. This is a very mellow sounding plant.
It is very mellow sounding. Now, I've heard that plants like music, but I didn't know plants created music.
Plants can create music. It's not that the plant is creating music. It has electrical energy in it that is being mapped to music so that we can understand the life cycle of a plant, if you will. It's a way to engage in the natural life cycle of living organisms by mapping them to music.
It's very soothing.
Yes, it's great for relaxing, for reading, for doing anything creative, for meditation, for yoga. I recently did a live plant performance where a yoga instructor came in and led a yin-inspired yoga flow. This coming Thursday, the 27th, I'll be playing some live plant music. So we'll have some a monstera and maybe some orchids and some other plants, and I'll be putting the sensors on them. So I have electronic sensors that measure the plants live.
Okay.
And then we'll be playing music with them. And this will be at the Center for Spiritual Care on Thursday, February 27th. The event is from 6:30 to 8 p.m., and the Center for Spiritual Care is at 1550 24th Street. You can check out their website at centerspiritualcare.org and call to register at 772-567-1233. That's 772-567-1233. Everyone is welcome. It's $15 donation is accepted. But I'll be playing live plant music, and then I'll be guiding some meditation. So while the plant is playing music, I'll be leading about a 30-minute meditation. And I think you'll find it very deeply relaxing, immersive, maybe even transformational. It's just a very powerful thing to listen to this music created by nature while meditating or doing yoga or other activities like that.
Awesome. Terrific. Terrific. It is very relaxing. I will say that. This is Laurel Oak Tree, and this was right here in Vero Beach.
That's right.
And so tell us, how do you get the sensors on the Laurel Oak Tree?
So this is my wife's favorite tree.
Okay.
So I made this for her birthday. And I start by using, if you're familiar with a stem, what are they called? The electrical vibration that you use if you have muscle pain or something.
Okay.
Those little sticky pads that you stick on your back or wherever you have pain.
Okay.
So they're just little sticky pads that have electrodes in them. And then those connect to the electronic device.
Okay.
And then, as I said, that measures the electrical current fluctuations and then maps those changes to musical notes.
Interesting. Aric, when did you discover that you had this talent?
Which talent is that?
I suppose by garnering music from plants.
I think.
And how did you get into it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been playing music since I was about 10 years old.
Okay.
And then I started photography when I was about 12. I've been very interested in science as a kid and as an adult, and science has really inspired my artwork. So quantum physics and relativity theory and things like that, I've made photographs that were inspired by the concepts behind that.
Okay.
I'm not a mathematician, so I can use visual art to explore what does a 10-dimensional multi-universe described by string theory look like.
Okay.
I can't do the math,
Yeah.
but I can imagine it, and I can make images that are inspired by that.
Fascinating.
So having those images, I felt like they needed sound. And I used to play ambient music at my exhibitions, and I did a series called A Glimpse of Infinity about 8-9 years ago, and really felt like I needed to create my own music to go with that artwork. And me playing slide guitar or jazz bass didn't really match the artwork.
Yeah.
I wanted something more otherworldly, something that would create in the imagination this sense of a possible world, not somebody playing guitar in the corner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I did some research. I was trying to sonify the artwork, and instead came up with this generative music app that I've been working with, like I said, since about 2017. And then just being deeply curious, I read the manual and get ideas and search online and saw that you could actually have data coming into this software that would influence the music that was being generated. So I started thinking about, well, what could I use? It could be sunlight or ambient light or temperature or water levels. Those can all influence the sound of music.
Very good.
And then I found this device that will actually make MIDI from living organisms or plants, and I could use that MIDI to drive the generative music. So that's how I kind of put it all together.
Interesting.
In a nutshell. Yeah.
Interesting. I wish we had more time. I really do. But we can go see Aric Attas. When is that? That's February 27th at the Center for Spiritual Care.
Yes. And I'll be talking a little bit about the process. I'll have some devices with me so people can see how it works and ask questions. And then we'll do a nice 30-minute meditation to really absorb the music.
Very good. And there's a website, Center for Spiritual Care. Just Google that, right?
Yeah. And you can also check out my website, healingpowerofcreativity.com. That's healingpowerofcreativity.com. And if you want to hear some more music, you can go to the Symbiotic page.
All right. Very good. Aric Attas, thank you very much.